You're not going to believe this. I've been tending my garden like all of you've been tending your gardens, and today I discovered, and here we are, September 4th, you have to see this gigantic rhubarb. Come here, look at this. I probably could win a contest. Let me just show you. Look at the size of this rhubarb. Totally grown organically. No pesticides, nothing, and I've had no bugs destroying it. But what I'm going to do today, and I really want you to follow me today because this is going to be great. It's a pre-course for Thanksgiving. I'm going to be making a strawberry rhubarb crumble. I have everything pretty well organized, and this recipe is really very easy to do. But the first thing I want to show you, which I started earlier today, as you know, we've been working with topsy-turvy, and so I've taken all of the strawberries. I've taken all of the strawberries from my topsy-turvy, and I have put them into this pot. Now, this is probably going to be the very last harvest that I'm going to have with the topsy-turvy, because it doesn't produce as many as you'd like to think, but it does produce enough. So in here I have approximately 25 beautiful strawberries, and I'm going to show you what they look like. I have just brewed them pretty much in their own liquor, and I have added to this a fresh lemon from the garden, some cinnamon, and about a half a cup of water, and about a quarter of a cup of sugar. And so basically these have been cooking on a very low flame, to which we are now going to take our rhubarb, freshly cut, small little vertical slices like this. And you can tell that this is a beautiful example of an organically grown stalk of rhubarb. When you look at this color, most of the rhubarb that you see grown commercially is red, but believe it or not, the best rhubarb is green. So that is the example of what you will get when you start from seed, which is what I have done. And I'm going to pre-blanch the rhubarb, because that's important. Pre-blanching any sort of a stalky fruit like this will help when we go to make a combination. And simply, I'm going to just take the fresh cut rhubarb as such, and I'm going to put it here in this pot with a little bit of water, just enough to cover the bottom. And then I'm going to turn it on and basically let it blanch in its own liquor as well. While I'm doing that, I'm going to show you the recipe for the crumble, which is really very easy and pretty much typical of all crumbles that you find in the commercial marketplace. Only what's nice about this is that you're going to start from scratch. So to begin with, we're going to take, and again, I kind of measure as I go. I would say that's about a half a cup of flour, but let's add just a little bit more, maybe a quarter of a cup more. So we're close to a cup of flour. Why don't we make it a cup? And then, very simply, I'm going to add some delicious organic brown sugar. And I would say I've got about a half a cup of brown sugar. And then I'm going to add, I would say maybe a quarter of a cup of regular granulated sugar. With this, I'm going to work some fresh organic butter, which has kind of gotten to room temperature, into this mixture as such. And I'm also going to add some freshly chopped hazelnuts. The hazelnuts will give it a little bit more of a crunchy texture. And simply, you're going to just take your butter, your nuts, your brown sugar, your white sugar, and you're going to make a dough that actually forms little pea-like beads. So while I'm doing this, I'm going to check on my strawberries again to make sure that they're good, and they are. And again, what's so important about doing this right is that you're starting with organic strawberries, and because they produce this liquor of their own, part of this liquor becomes the base for the crumble. This is what is going to give the crumble a fabulous taste because it's natural and it exudes from the strawberries. And although I'm not going to have enough time today to show you the entire recipe, I'm going to walk you through it because it's very simple. When the rhubarb has finished blanching, I'm basically going to be draining the rhubarb. And when I drain the rhubarb, I'm going to put the rhubarb without the liquor into the strawberry. Well, one of the things I'm going to do to kind of give this recipe a little bit of a kicker is I found this product, I'm really in love with it. It's Jules and Sharpie. It's from England, jolly old England. Hot apple and sage jelly. It's delightful on biscuits with cheese, but in the meantime, what I'm going to do is put about 2 tablespoons of it in here. And it's going to go into the strawberry mixture, and it's just going to give that liquor a little bit of a kick. And a little bit different, but I think you're going to like it. Okay, so we did make a little change here. I put the rhubarb and strawberry in a smaller carafe because actually I realized that it had cooked down some, and what you really want to do with crumbles is build them up. And here again is the crumble mixture, and very simply we're going to take the crumble like this and just kind of sprinkle it on top all around. And I'm going to be very generous. You know, I could say, well, maybe I'll save a little bit of the crumble for another time, but at this time, no, I'm going to use all of this crumble because the crumble, in many ways, is kind of like a pie crust, only it's a crumble. And what's nice is it's going to take on a very lovely sort of crusty texture on top when we bake. Now, there's another little something that a friend of mine showed me a recipe that I just love. This is a beautiful example of fresh chèvre, and this is thyme. And not everybody likes goat cheese, so I'm not going to put it on the crumble, but my friend did. She actually took this little thing like that, stuck it in the center, and went to bake her crumble, and the cheese just kind of oozed and melted all over the top of the crumble down into the broth of the strawberry and the rhubarb. But now I want to show you this, because what we've made today is we've made a phenomenal strawberry syrup. And I will use some of this to decorate my crumble on the plate with that homemade ice cream I'm going to show you about in another episode of Nancy's Organic Kitchen. But in the meantime, I can freeze this, I can bottle it, and of course, as I've told you on other episodes, my favorite glass product is ball jars. My grandmother used ball jars. Everybody I know loves ball jars because glass is the best way to preserve anything. You don't want to preserve any of your foods in plastics. Just remember that. Glass ball jars. So what I'll probably do is take the rest of the strawberry syrup, put it in the ball jar, and I may freeze it or I may keep it in my refrigerator. When friends come over, I want to make my French brioche toast on Sunday. I have my homemade strawberry syrup. Now, I wish you could taste it. Come on, you could try it. Unbelievable. Look at our rhubarb strawberry crumble. Can you smell it? It is amazing. And again, as we said earlier today, it's that incredible liquor that we started out with the fresh strawberries that produce this fantastic taste. Oh, and it truly is that rhubarb that gives it the tartness, and the strawberries that are so sweet. And aren't we lucky? All of us are so lucky. And here's to your vibrant health. We'll see you next time on Nancy's Organic Kitchen.